Alright guys, we are back out here as usual, doing more work over here on Mikey. Today is a pretty big day. I'm so excited for this day. I actually kind of thought it would never come, but we are finally going stage 2. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to swap out your ECU. Reason for that is because I did a ship and chip method where I mail off my ECU, they tune it and send it back to me. So I just got to swap out the ECU that I already have in there. If you guys have watched previous videos where I explained this, you already know as to why I have 2 ECUs. But if not, in a nutshell, this mechanic was an idiot. Thought that my ECU was broken, which it wasn't. So he put a replacement in the car. The original ECU is actually resting over there, as you can see, just on that box. That's that flat thing. So I'm putting that one over here. Pretty excited. I'm gonna go a little bit into more detail with the tune later on, but just to tell you right now, it's a Gonzo tuning stage 2. It used to be called stage 2 plus, but now it's just stage 2. Pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to swap the ECU, and a little bonus, just also gonna be showing you guys how to swap the fuel pressure regulator, that right there, because the tune just does call for a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator, and these come stock with the 3-bar. And my fuel pressure regulator is also sitting right here next to my ECU. So let's just jump into this, because as you can imagine, I'm really excited for this. So first thing you want to do, working with anything electrical, to be honest, a good rule of thumb is to disconnect the battery. You know, if you're working on something electrical, you really don't want to short anything out, ruin anything, especially when it's swapping out your ECU. This is probably going to be like the worst time to short something out or mess anything up. So disconnect your battery, and then your ECU, unlike most other cars, the ECU on these is located under the rain tray, which is this plastic thing that goes right here. You're going to need to remove that to get to the ECU, which is actually really easy. And I'll show you guys into detail how to get that off. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you're going to want to do is take off this rubber seal going across this. And it's super easy. You don't have to loosen any bolts or anything. You literally just grab it, pull it right off. It'll keep its shape, so you'll be able to put it back on. So that just comes off right like that. And then once that's out of the way, you're actually going to need to take off your wiper blades, which is really easy. It's just going to be a bolt right here and a bolt over here. Let me go ahead and show you guys a little bit closer. Okay, so there it is, the bolt for your wiper. That's just going to be a 13mm bolt, so you're just going to grab your ratchet and a 13mm socket and pop that off. There is going to be a cover that covers that, so I don't have it on this one, but I do have it over here. It's just going to be this round thing on top of the bolt over there, and that's pretty easy, just like anything else like that. Just grab your flathead. There's going to be a little part where you can pry up. There you go, grab your flathead, just pop it off like that. Comes right off, and there you can get to your bolt. So loosen those, and then I'll show you guys. It's going to be a little, you can't just like pull up to take them out. There's kind of like a little trick they have to do, which isn't that hard. Basically, once you've got it all loosened up, you're going to push down on the wiper, like push it in, and that straightens out this over here. So simultaneously, while you're pushing that part in, you're going to pull this out, and that's going to let it come off of the threads. And I'll show you guys me doing it just so it's a little bit more clear. So I'll get these off and then I'll show you. What I forgot to mention is you got to do that. You got to pull it so you can actually get it loose from the fastener. Yeah, just so you guys. And once you've gotten it loose, you can push it down. So you see that? How this goes, pushes down. Yeah. So once you push it down, you can pull this off like that. And that's the same process for both of them, so that's how you do that. Pretty easy. Okay, so once you've got your wipers off, I actually don't have these, but you're gonna have these 4 screws holding this in. My car's honestly never had them, so I don't know what they are. They could be Torx. They're probably gonna be Torx, because just about everything on this car is a Torx when it comes to like plastic screws. So you can actually like remove these pieces. Oops, I'm not even looking at it, sorry guys. You can remove these pieces like that. So that's how you get to your cabin air filter, just so you know. You just take off that panel that I just did, and you can get to your cabin air filter if you're changing that. So I guess a little bonus here too. But then the rest of it will just lift up. You kind of have to bend it to get it out a little bit. stuck. There we go. Take this one thing off. Let that chill out there. And your ECU is just right there. Just smack right in the front. So how you take these connectors off is there's going to be these little gray tabs right here, and you pull them out. Sometimes they might not feel like they're out all the way, so you just kind of have to work with it. Same when you put them in, they might not feel like they're in all the way. So just pull these both on the outsides. I can't do it with one hand right now, but you just pull those out kind of like I did a little bit with the one on this side. Pull both of them out, you can take the connectors right off, and the ECU is actually not bolted in place. It's just being held in place there by the wires and whatnot. So once you take off the connectors, your ECU will just slide right out. Alright, so I have the car all put back together. Reinstallation is just the reverse of taking it all apart. So got everything all hooked up, ECU's in, batteries hooked up. Now all I need to do now is replace the fuel pressure regulator. So that's actually super easy to do. All you probably need is like a screwdriver and a set of pliers. That's about it. Let's see, let's grab your flathead. First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and take off this pin holding in the fuel pressure regulator. So you just get a screwdriver and pry that out. I don't want to do it with only one hand because that's probably going to go flying. What I can do with one hand is take off this vacuum line. It's just the one that's connected to it. You know, just pull it off like any other vacuum line. So I'll go ahead and get this pin out, and then once you've taken the pin out, it's pretty hard to do by hand, and I'll show you why it's probably not best to do it by hand too, but you're probably gonna grab a set of pliers and just pull it out because it's pretty hard to take out on your own, like just with nothing. So I'll show you guys that. Alright, so here I have the set of pliers. Probably gonna need a bigger set, but this is the fuel pressure regulator, which means if your car has not been, unless your car hasn't been running or doesn't have fuel at all, this is going to be filled with fuel because it's connected to the fuel rail, obviously. If you try to do it by hand and just kind of yank it off, or even if you do it by pliers and just yank it off, obviously you're going to spill fuel everywhere. It's not great, obviously. You can kind of rotate it with your hands, but that's probably the extent of what you'll be able to do. So yeah, I'm going to need to grab a bigger set of pliers, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a bit overkill. Obviously you don't need a set of pliers this big, but it was just lying there, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. What you're gonna want to do is obviously grab the regulator with your pliers, adjust it accordingly, and then just kind of twist and pull. You can start to hear it coming out a bit. The reason I'm putting my hand over it like that is because when it pops out, it's going to pop up pretty violently. So I have my hand over it like this, so to keep it from flying out, which will prevent the fuel from just flying everywhere. There we go. You can kind of hear the gurgling right there. That's the fuel. So now you want to grab your 4-bar fuel pressure regulator, which is identical to the 3-bar, and just stick it right in its place. You're going to spill a little bit of fuel, obviously, so just have things nearby to go ahead and clean that. But I'll go ahead and wipe it down, so don't worry. But you're just going to want to push it in. It's pretty hard to push it in, just as it is hard to take it out. Easiest way is honestly to just grab a screwdriver, put it on the end of it, and then just, yeah, the fuel's going to splatter everywhere, so be aware of that. Beat it in with a hammer. Ooh, that one was a big one. But it is now in. Alright, fuel pressure regulator is in, so we can now stick our pin back in here. Like that. And the vacuum line. And the regulator is now in. Funny thing about this, you could probably go ahead and buy like an adjustable fuel pressure regulator or a 4-bar online for pretty expensive. But cool thing about these, V6 Audis and, for example, like a V6 Volkswagen Passat, they actually come with a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator stock. So if you don't want to spend like a ton of money like online or anything, just go ahead and head over to the junkyard or salvage yard, I guess, if you want to use the real term for that, and just take one off of a V6 out of your Volkswagen of the same era. So pretty good thing to find. So, or you could always just upgrade your injectors too, because you need to have the 317cc injectors, which these have stock. And a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator, I forgot exactly how the math works, but a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator essentially turns the 317cc's to 380cc's, and you can actually go out and buy 380cc injectors. So you can either get a fuel pressure regulator or injectors if you're getting this tune, I guess. So just make sure that you need to have like a pressure of like, you need to have like 380cc's going into your cylinders essentially. So anyways, enough of this. The car is put back together. I have all the things I need. Let's get to the big moment. Hey guys, so I actually already started the car off camera. Sorry about that. Let me close the door here. But it's on. Key light's flashing because obviously this key is not paired up with this ECU anymore. And they actually did the immobilizer defeat on it, so I can still start it without having the proper key. So yeah, start it up. I could get that taken care of if I just reprogram the key to this ECU, but I mean, it's running. Definitely running. I was really nervous, honestly. I was like, I hope this doesn't like blow up as soon as I start it or something, but man, this is awesome. It's running, dude. It's honestly running. Yeah, you guys, I know you guys might not understand. I was really nervous about it not running properly because it is a ship and ship method, which is sometimes pretty sketchy. So I was just hoping like, man, I hope this is actually like right, you know? I don't want the car to run like shit. So I'll take it on the road and I'll let you guys know what I think. Oh my gosh, guys, I wish I got my reaction on camera. This is amazing. I was just testing to make sure if the two-step works. Obviously I didn't full throttle it because I don't want to disturb my neighbors with like gunshot sounds, but check this out. Okay, so I'm just gonna slowly rev it up. Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that? Oh my gosh. So obviously I had to have the clutch pushed in to activate the launch control, but I'm pretty sure without it, just kind of... Oh my gosh, you guys need to listen to this.